I had a terrible nightmare last night. I also want to mention, too, I learned in the spirit plane that if you want to get back in your body, if you get abducted, I kept seeing through my third eye. I don't know how true it is. I know that certain beings were only allowing certain frequency, I think 2.2 million hertz to get through, but not the others. That way, the Illuminati is controlling my shit. I saw the Windsors and the Battens. Windsor Battens, that's their last and first name. I'm going to be putting their natal charts and all of that. The one I keep seeing, my father ending up in, by the way, being chopped and slaughtered, is Jacob Rothschild. I started getting fucked with really, really bad when I posted about it in the middle of the night. I'm sorry if I look all fucked up and everything. It's just, pardon me, it's all this shit that's going on. Those are some really wicked, evil, conniving motherfuckers. If I had half the fucking chance, I would knock them in their motherfucking mouths. You know, I'm not a big fan. I saw that the person controlling my timelines, you know, from what I understand, I've been abducted by 3iAtlas, and they're going to try to shut down, but there's all sorts of ways to shut somebody open. I think 117 hertz, just, you know, add as many zeros at the end and the beginning as possible. For portals, 156, 165 hertz. It was a bunch of hertz, as I learned a long time ago, with my third eye. But anyways, I'm going to be doing the tarot reading as well. Through my third eye, I learned that, alright, I actually learned from a spirit. It was a roach spirit, you know, and it's depressing hearing how my enemies are victorious over me, who sacrificed me and all in that other timeline. That's some fucked up shit. I heard one say, supposed to be a very, very successful real estate agent, pillar of the community, which she, covets. You know, to me, I don't seek acceptance from people. I don't even like to be liked by motherfuckers. I'm very antipathetic. Unless you're somebody who resonates on the frequency of realness, I can't fuck with, you know, I can't fuck with that person. You know, I'm real. I only fuck with real people. I gravitate to real, you know. That's why I can't understand motherfuckers who want to sacrifice and put everything out there for, hopefully I don't lose my road spirits, you know, use 3517 hertz, 295 hertz, 295, 695 combined with 695 hertz. And there's another frequency to get everything back. I'm all fucked up. I had my fucking soul consciousness literally torn out of me by the winds are bad, and by some of the Rothschilds last night. I heard that they easy going on me because I'm part Jewish, and my great-grandmother, her last name was Stein, is Jewish. You know, she was my higher self, and they're supposed to be fucking with my higher self and all of that, and she's supposed to be on that 3iAtlas. Eat it. I'm just putting everything out there. I'm going to just start putting everything out there because it's just too much. But I've been using frequency and trying to combat it myself. I was told that first, don't do anything. You might fuck up something. But I'm going to just take a chance and do it. You know, when you're dealing with aliens and all of that, that's some, you know, I heard that shit is like physical. And I be hearing it going, But anyways, it's depressing when you learn how fucked up your situation is. You know, the lady was saying, I'm the pillar of the community. I got all this money and can go anywhere, and my child at child porn. I don't know how true that is. And we're doing very, very well. And, you know, here you are, like that movie that's supposed to be a composite, you know, really Zendaya shit called One Battle After Another. I even saw Benicio del Toro, who I always thought I kind of looked akin to. Another one was Javier Bardem, who was in No Country for Old Men. I got similar eyes to his, and I take great pride in that. With that being said, you know, I even saw the scene where, you know, he was drinking beers. He got caught by the police just like I used to do back in the day. With that being said, it's depressing seeing where I'm at, but I'm determined to change it, and it's one fucking battle after another that's keeping me oppressed. I'm trying my best like I did yesterday. I started playing. I heard You know, my Swedish past life ancestors were using it to stay in their bodies. 1.75 hertz. I heard from another spirit, I don't know how true that is. I know 1.7 million hertz is supposed to be good. I saw through my third eye 2.2 million hertz. But if somebody gets abducted by aliens, 1.7 million hertz is good. I heard Jacob Rothschild or one of them Rothschilds or something going to try to manipulate that and use that against me. Use 694-695 hertz, C322 hertz, which is favored by the Illuminati. Helps with knowledge. You can also look at the, through your third eye, the Akashic Records. With that being said, it's very, very disturbing. They were using my mother. I saw 322. I see 4 or 5. Using my mother, who they got trapped in the hell realm. From what I understand, it's in Jacob Rothschild's, and I got fiercely fucked with last night. And when I tried to post it up this morning, fucked with again. And I be trying to fucking sleep. I be playing 735 hertz all throughout the motherfucking night. Start putting all the zeros at the end and beginning and all of that underneath, all over. So do that with 3517 hertz. I almost want to say with the 1.7 million as well as the 1.75 million. And for them Rothschilds, 1248 hertz. Hope I don't fuck with Robespierre. They try to help me out in certain timelines. 694, 695 hertz. See how there's many zeros at the end and beginning as possible. You can also use 1488 hertz for them. At times 1488 2 hertz. That works on them. From Meghan Markle, let's say 5300 hertz. It's horrible, so I gotta put in the energy work. And for the 1,735 hertz, that works against them. They've been participating in it, and they've been fucking with me and fucking me up left and right and all of that. I heard that Bryce Taylor used to talk about it. Pine Dar got involved. It's something about divesting me of all of my shit and sending it to Zendaya Coleman to do that whole beast shit. It's that beast of the apocalypse shit, and using my Hike, which she made me a sacrifice for back. I heard in 2019, and I heard back in Miracle Mile when I used to live at 637 Hauser Boulevard here. Making me a sacrifice for it. I feel fucking dead. Like, I feel straight up dead. I'm not going to lie to you when I tell you that. I feel straight up dead. I heard Santa Muerte. I don't know how true it is. The real one who's been trying to sacrifice me was helping a little bit. And then Telemunes. I know Baron Samedi. The real one. Another one has been helping. And she's very nice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Santa Muerte. She was one of the first guys to actually help me out. There's some really evil ass just shit going on around in beings and people and all of that. I hate to have to be in this situation, and it makes me want to fucking cry. But anyways, some motherfuckers try to influence me to turn against, including the Winds of Mountbattens and the Rothschilds and all of that in the spirit plane, because she was helping me out vociferously. With that being said, from what I understand, I saw it in a reflection of my, cell phone, which is a black screen mirror, that I'm trapped inside of a giant roach or something, which is what them 3iAtlas aliens are supposed to be, giant alien cockroaches. And my poor little roaches have been trying to fight their ass. They almost came close to fucking them up yesterday, and in the middle of the night, they took something that's an aspect of my dad and tried to fuck it up. But anyways, from what I understand, I'm going to say this right now, y'all under Quetzalcoatl, that's what protects y'all from the Illuminati, and that's the beautiful thing. They're trying to control Hike. This one I wanted to get to. They're trying to do some Beast of the Book Revelations thing that involves me. They found out that through my mother's connection to Isis or something, we're supposed to be related to her. Related to Mansa Musa as well on my father's side. The ISIS thing is on my father's side as well. The entity attached ISIS and my mom. They also stole my Baphomet as well, which we all have entity attachments connections to. They used that to convert me into Hecate or something, and to steal my successorship to Hecate, some old shit like that. And so that's my boy, the devil. They tried usurping him many, many months ago, and that's my boy. Fucking Khazar Jew motherfucker. I ain't got nothing against the Jews, I'm gonna say that right now, but those are some evil motherfuckers, and I see, why Hitler was actually related to me as an issue. But should be with them motherfuckers more than anything. Supposed to be related. It's been helped. I don't say too much. But he's been looking out. He's been helping and, trying to stop that evil shit. Those are some wicked motherfuckers. I'm not going to lie. Hopefully that don't turn against me because that situation, because of how he was, it was complicated. He was so-called Antichrist. It was people that go against the grain and shit. I know I shouldn't be elaborating. It's just a daily fight to get my consciousness, my entity attachments, my soul consciousness back. I'm tired of it, man. I'm straight up fucking tired of it. Anyways, with that being said, they're trying to do some Beast of the Book Revelations type shit. And from what I understand, they want to steal my successorship to Hecate and all of that shit. So that they can use it against me. I mean, use that to bring about the Beast of the Book of Revelations, and something about Hathor. I'm trying to figure out the whole thing with them fucking roaches and shit, but really it's the Hecate that they focused on. And they trying to use that and steal that and give that to Zendaya. From what I understand, she got CIA agents controlling her consciousness and divesting me of all my shit. Because they can't control me, but they can control her. They can't control Hecate. So I'm going to say that right now. It's got something to do with conscience. They can't control Hecate. And they're trying to give it to Zendaya because she's under their control. Major movie star and all of that. And in that timeline, it's supposed to be 2028. I'm supposed to be on a spaceship in so many years supposed to have passed. I heard 5-7 years because I just looked at a thing saying that LeBron James done aged. He's been playing basketball for 22 years. And he didn't come on the scene until I think 2018, 2015. So something ain't right. They've been fucking with my entity attachments and shit. Thank goodness I got, the frankincense and mirror. I don't know if it acts as a defense or the water should. But it does. With that being said, it shouldn't be no 22 years. done passed with him. Because I remember he started in 2018. But anyways, they plan on doing some evil ass shit where they plan on bringing about using Hecate's energy and consciousness, which controls the spirit plane, to bring about mass cataclysms. And to kill off a lot of people and turn all of us into, just like what these Atlas aliens are trying to do with me, soul containers. I remember a guy, UFO contactee, I don't know if it was Alex Collier, one of the more preeminent ones that I respected. It could have been Simon Parks. I remember your boy back in the day. It's funny, I can't look at this because that's my reality now. Who used to be a football player. They call soccer players football players and shit over there in England. But David Icke got a funny name. Good looking guy, but he got a funny name. And he say that's what they refer to us as. And I must tell you, from what I've learned, their machines are biological. They're organic. You know, some of them thrive off of Hecate and all of that shit, and that's where they get their energy from. And what they do is every now and then they go and abduct people and steal people from the physical plane and then put them in their whatchamacallins and feed off their consciousness. And have their consciousness operate while you ain't aware of shit. They have your consciousness. They have your consciousness suspended in the catatonic state. And that's what they're trying to get with me. They're trying to target my shit and put me in such a state. And I've been playing frequencies. I'm going to say something right now. When y'all see schizophrenics, so-called, playing frequencies, it's to block alien invasions. And I've been planning on doing a blog article, and I'm going to do one today. It's to block off whatchamacallins from aliens knowing where you at. They got EMF blockers for it. I wonder if this is it. They got organite. They got hematite, which puts you back together. It's a good stone to have. Tiger's eye, which holds a lot of stuff in. There's obsidian, which I also have, which my Cometian ancestors were in. One I brought a long time ago when I stayed at the First to Serve shelter. That tends to deflect negativity and all of that and helps out with that. But this shit is real. I've had like my whole cell consciousness nearly taken out. You know, I felt like just my consciousness right by my cell phone and all of that. At one point while lying down, I have been playing frequencies all day, namely the 1.7 million hertz, along with the 1.75 million hertz, just for, you know, so just a protective measure. And I was able to get a lot of my shit back, and I was close to, you know, getting a lot of my shit. And then, you know, I had some of my little spirits, they were like, you know, this is going to take a lot, you know, God, somebody. Try to put your ass back together, because this is, dealing with all of this is too fucking much. And so, you know, I got tired of waiting on Spirit to do shit. I was like, I'm just going to do it. Everything all fucked up. High cells, all of them up there. I'm just going to motherfucking do it. Along with Baron Stamedy. Grandma, all of them are up there. And so I'm just, you know, it's going to take a minute for me to be able to do it. So, with that being said, because I get impatient. I'm like, okay, y'all trying. I know y'all trying. This is a very serious situation. I heard, you know, going back to that lady who was, you know, was jealous of me being on the PCH, who had put an entity attachment to steal all of my shit out of me a while back. they were saying that when they visited her higher self got thrown out. So I don't know. They noticed that in the physical, in that dimension, in that timeline where I got casted out, August 22nd, 2022 timeline, supposed to be 2028 there where they got flying cars and shit. I'm supposed to be stuck in 2025. Make a long story short, from what I understand, is whatchamacallit here. From what I understand, when and I heard Cynthia Revio went over there or something, she ain't what you think in these timelines. She's not an actress. She's supposed to be somebody working with Ariana Grande who stole a lot of my shit, and she was helping her to secure it. A fucking nigger who just concerned about power and shit. I actually had a visitation from herself, from astral projecting, who was like, "Oh, it's easy to just get your shit out that spaceship. Woo, woo. Use your third eye, woo, woo, and you can get it out." And she's supposed to be somebody helping her to steal shit that she stole from me. You can use 694, 695 hertz to see. But she was like, man, that's a horrible fucking fate to be captured like that and to not be aware of your surroundings. From what I understand, they were going to set it up to where I'm just my body and I can't see my legs. And that's how a lot of people in the astral plane function. So, take that knowledge for what it is, word. But anyways, from what I understand in the physical, and the thing that's physical, I'm going to say this. They went to this woman's timeline called Mo's Millions and stole a lot of her shit. Not still, but they killed a lot of people, and they were allowed to by the Illuminati in that timeline or some, I don't fucking know. But they were allowed to take people out. From what I understand, when I watch Instagram and shit, I'm seeing people's memories. It is various aspects of their consciousness ever since May the 1st, 2024, from what I understand. And I've seen evidence that points to this. I haven't been in my body. Remember being told I smell like burnt flesh, seeing the Grim Reaper's reflection when I was no longer connected to certain timelines, floating and stuff damn near, like I'm in the spirit of astral plane. Keep hearing feeling like fucking people's hands get into my consciousness and shit is so wide open. It's like a daily battle to put myself back together in this pure hell. But from what I understand, they physically went and fucked with them people and ate them people and put them on board, just like I saw in Astral World. Infested them, laid roach eggs and shit. It was horrible. And Mo's Millions is one of the more captivating people emanating from that timeline. With that being said, from what I understand, they put them motherfuckers on us. I was trying to help them people out some months ago when I was staying at the New Testimonial Church shelter. It's just fucked up that the trajectory of my life, when you look at my timelines, are nothing but shelters, and then just evil shit culminating with this, hopefully not ending with it. Now, with that being said, that's how they got on their radar. Some months back, because I was trying to get back in the body of that girl, I think her name was Anne Prejean, or Renee. Anne Prejean, Ashley Terrell I got from my dad. I was almost Nate Wellinger. I'm not sure. Hopefully that don't adversarially protect me. I'm just going to have to play frequency all fucking day to protect myself. The Illuminati should be in them timelines. Renee Wellinger or Ashley Terrell. I hate when they just, another thing about them too is, you got your timelines and all of that on your body. And I saw it too. I saw it with the sacral chakra and with my soul consciousness, which got jipped by them Mountbattens last night. The Windsor Mountbattens. They connect because they're, you have to understand that with UFOs, they're partially physical. And so they connect with my soul consciousness or the sacral chakra area. I'm just going to speak my truth. I'm being fucked with right now as soon as I mention that. But they connect and then start stealing from you from there. But anyways, from what I understand, with Cynthia Revio, you can use 694-695 hertz to see. They took Baron Samedi, who's part of my bloodlines. They were using his consciousness. They take sound bites from people using your consciousness to attract people to come outside or to do what they want. And they acted like they zombified the fuck out of him and acted like they were him and tried to come at her. And so, you know, I'm going to say this right now. They are spiritual beings you could call on because they're afraid of the primordial darkness. Satan for help. That's my boy. He runs Santa Muerte. And she can be used since she is the primordial darkness. They were scared dead of her when they first saw her to take them over. You can, you know, a lot of people will call on God. And God could intercede. But Satan is one of the best because he'll get the job done, get him fucked up and all of that. But if you're just looking for a quick, get him the fuck out, you call on him. Call on Satan. And he'll help you out and put you back. Wow. Remember at the beginning they called that girl Ashley Tisdale. I got Esther Williams as a noun. Plum. Keep trying to focus on room spirits right now. As soon as I mention that, but I'm not gonna let them intimidate me. Hampstead, Ashley Hampstead, after them kids who got raped by Illuminati people. Let's talk about that back in the day. But anyways, from what I understand, these roach aliens are fifth dimensional, so they are spirit beings. So all you have to do is, this is what I'm thinking, confine them to being strictly spirits or astral beings, which makes it easier for you to be able to deal with them. If you're in the physical, you can do this through your third eye, manipulation through timelines, you know, using your crystals or gold or something. You can put them in spirit jars just like they do people. But the key is to play frequency. With that being said, all you have to do for them beings is make them make them, you know, Cassandra Nunez was showing me, put them in your timelines. And that makes it easier for you to be able to deal with them. If you got roach attachments, have them fuck them up. I nearly had that happen the other night. There's got to be ways you can use 142 hertz, 3002 hertz to revert things. 3000 hertz is also good for reverting things as well. Zeros at the end, beginning possible. 145 hertz is another thing that's good for correcting mistakes. It's another thing, too, I want to mention. They did something in the spirit plane, the Mountbattens, where the minute I said anything, they used that as consent to be able to fuck with me, and they're not supposed to. And I don't know who they're getting it from, or I don't know, but I ain't consent to that shit. You know, you can use 12, 15 hertz to take care of shit like that. That doesn't mean zeros at the end of this pop. Might try to trick you, so be careful. Use 694, 695 hertz. With that being said, that's another thing too. I'm trying to, from what I understand, they got permission from the Illuminati to come into this dimension and fuck with me. You know, they can't enter another dimension unless they get permission. And Kate is more respected, but I'm wondering where they get their authority from. If it's God himself, or I know it ain't Satan. And I know they work with the demiurge. That's what they make sacrifices to, I believe. With that being said, from what I understand, they make these things are fifth dimensional, and they are physical. So there's got to be a way. You know, I used to be able to manipulate things through my third eye, to turn things, you know, to manipulate events. You know, you can use it to kill them and all of that. I used to use that to block people from fucking with me if they came around. But there's got to be some way to take entities like that. I just saw something in there and turn them fifth dimensional. I know 735 hertz works on them. And it works on them very, very well. With that being said, there's two evil motherfuckers named T and C. They got names similar to what they had in I want to say Samaria, Sumer, Mesopotamia, and all in places, Babylon. You know, they sound a lot like I think their real voice, but they sound a lot like when they speak, it's very crunchy sounding. But anyways, let me talk about the Mountbattens. I was getting fucked with, and I had a very, very nice roach spirit that works for me get kidnapped, and some people try to rescue him in the middle of the night and bring him back and use 295 combined with 295 or 695 hertz or 295 hertz to get him back. I'm going to have to use 1248 hertz to do something about the Illuminati, but they're trying to fuck with the roach spirits who are trying to help me with certain timelines. So it becomes a lot more complicated. Spaceships, they go off frequency and vibration, and they're organic. So what I'm thinking is, when you're dealing with something like that, they got things that could take the energy out of it, that could fuck them up. I know 114 hertz combined with 700 hertz can do that and bring them to a standstill. I got these frequencies here. So, with that being said, I swear up and down I saw her. There's a spaceship fly by me that had like numerous lights on it, and it didn't look like it was in the third dimension. It looked like it was it was definitely spiritual fifth dimension or third, fourth dimension or something. Anyways, with that being said, I figure out what's going on with him. Hopefully, all right. But anyways, from I don't know if you got that. I think you did. All right. From what I understand, I was even seeing giant cockroaches. I even had blurred vision in the middle of the night, running around on different buildings and all of that out there. Usually at night, it was pretty scary. It was a trip. I'm more pissed off than anything. So with that being said, I'm trying to think of ways to defeat them, and they start fucking with my consciousness. When I thought about that, thinking about the fact that they spirit of fifth dimensional beings. Trying to get my road spirits to fuck up the Rothschilds and all of that, to eat them or something. I've been trying to take care of them and I can't. They immediately get pulled out by the demiurge when I try. I've been trying to sacrifice killer asses. Get a lot of money that way. Anyways, take back our their power. From what I saw in the spirit plane, they don't want me getting back in my body, and they want to use my heat cake to start that whole beast shit. So I was sitting down, laying down, and I started getting harassed, from what I understand, by my mother, who, through her soul consciousness as well as through her consciousness and all through her body, stemming from that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, from what I understand, it got both her and my dad, Lyndon Napoleon Williams Jr., inside Jacob Rothschild's head, and I heard David Rothschild as well. But in his head, and they're fucking with him egregiously. The one I always hear at night. It's fucked up. All the shit I've been under. So while trying to lie down, my shit is all exposed, and I keep getting fucked with by the entity attachment of my mother. Almost to the point of death. And I keep having to fight it off and keep having to fight it off. Trying to find them Rothschilds and shit in the spirit plane, can't. I hope they ain't using them people entity attachments to. Yeah. I heard it was Barbara and David Raina. They were using people's entity attachments who were helping to fuck with my ass and fuck with my ass royally in the middle of the night. Hopefully, I'm just going to play frequency, and that's 1.7 billion, 1.75 million hertz. Hopefully that don't fuck up things for me. So with that being said, with that being said, I woke up in a chair and it felt like England. I went to sleep. Didn't fuck with it. I was told keep the lights on. Kind of keeps them roaches away or the worst from happening. I fell asleep in the chair. And I woke up. And with that being said, I woke up. To being in, it was a, I don't want to say white room, but a white, it had white walls, and it was big. And I was told through this here, when they had a reptilian higher self, one of them that was trying to help. I've been to their place before, but it was the Rothschilds. Windsor's a bunch of fucking crackers. Rothschilds are not that bad to ride with, because our Jews, and Jews are, they're different. They're cooler white people. I don't care what anybody says. I like them. They don't have a false sense of insecurity that brings about superiority with them, and you know, it's a stolen birthright. They're not true Israelites, but they're good people. And if it wasn't for them, we would have never had the civil rights movement. Black people wouldn't be where we at in the original time. So thanks for the Jews. Thanks to the Jews. Ain't true Jews. They're Jews and they good people and they quirky and the men have big dicks in general. They're good people. With that being said, I was in a room where, and I couldn't see it. It was being cloaked, like a lot of stuff is around me. I was told that a lot of this shit is cloaked. I started having, you know, parts of me being divested and being torn apart. And I saw praise where a lot of people were around me and praising me, but then I started getting torn apart. And I felt a strong English energy. And it looked like a British home. And that's when I woke up and found out that it was the Windsors and a little bit of the Rothschilds. I got this lady here, I hope not.